So you're thinking about self-storage investing, not just tossing your old stuff in a unit, but like actually diving into the business side of things.
It's a fascinating market for sure.
Well, that beginner's guide you shared, it's a really solid starting point, and we've, unpacked it all for you here. Did you know almost 1 in 10 households in the US rents a self-storage unit?
Yeah, the scale of it always surprises people.
It's huge, and today we're diving into why so many investors are, well, interested.
Right, it's more than just a place to stash your stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah.
The self-storage industry has this really impressive track record of growth, even when the economy takes a dip.
You mean like it's resilient?
Exactly. It's often considered recession resistant, which is a big draw for investors looking for stability. Just keep in mind, this guide focuses on the U.S. market specifically.
Recession resistant. Okay. Something else that caught my eye. The guide mentioned a potential 41% profit margin.
Yeah, those numbers can definitely turn heads.
Is that for real? Or just like a best case scenario? What makes it so potentially profitable?
Well, profitability varies, of course, but the guide is spot on about high occupancy rates being key. Think about facilities routinely running at 90% capacity, sometimes even with wait lists.
Wow, that's packed.
Right, that steady demand for space equals consistent income, which is a big plus for investors.
Makes sense. Now, when I hear self-storage, I picture, rows of those garage-like
The
units.
classic image, yeah.
But this guide opened my eyes to like the sheer variety out there. Climate-controlled units, boat and RV
Oh,
storage.
there's a whole range.
They even talked about renting out space in your own home through platforms like neighbor.com.
The sharing economy, coming to a storage unit near you.
It's wild. So it's more than just those metal boxes, huh?
Absolutely. It's a really diverse market now reflecting bigger trends, like take climate-controlled units, essential for stuff sensitive to temperature swings, artwork, electronics, documents.
So it's not just about keeping the rain out.
Right, and you hit it on the head with RV and boat storage, too, as more people own these big recreational vehicles. But city living often means zero space.
They got to put them somewhere.
Exactly, and that niche market has exploded.
So it's about tapping into those specific needs.
Precisely. And those specialized facilities often command higher rents because they're meeting that niche demand. Good old supply and demand.
Okay, so let's say you're ready to dive in, invest in self-storage. The guide lays out 3 main paths. Buying an existing facility.
The more traditional route.
Building a brand new one.
More intensive for sure.
Or going the REIT route, which, I'll be honest, sounded a tad intimidating at first.
REITs, yeah, they can seem complicated, but they're not that scary. Think of it like this. You're investing in a company that owns and operates a bunch of self-storage properties.
So rather than owning one building, you've got a piece of many.
Exactly. A more hands-off approach compared to, being the one fixing leaky faucets.
Got it. So it's like picking your level of involvement. Hands-on landlord versus
Silent partner.
silent partner. I like it. But each comes with its own things to consider, right?
Absolutely. The best option depends entirely on your goals, how much time you've got, your risk tolerance, how much money you're working with. But no matter what, due diligence is non-negotiable.
Meaning, it's not as easy as finding an empty warehouse and calling it a day.
Not quite. There's a bit more to it than that.
Right, right. So what are some of the things to research before jumping into self-storage investing?
Understanding the local market is huge. You got to know, is there even a need for more storage in this area? What's the competition like?
Right. You wouldn't build a self-storage palace in a town full of minimalists.
Exactly. And zoning laws, don't even get me started.
Oh, right. Those pesky regulations.
They can be a nightmare. Imagine you've secured funding, got blueprints, the whole 9 yards, then bam, self-storage isn't even allowed in that zone.
Ouch. So due diligence is more than just spreadsheets. It's about real-world stuff, too.
100%. And speaking of real world, the guide was really big on security, which makes sense.
Yeah, people are trusting you with their, well, everything.
Exactly. A good facility isn't just about space, it's peace of mind. Customers need to know their stuff is safe.
Okay, so more than just a padlock on the door then. What are we talking? Security cameras? Guard dogs?
Think perimeter fencing, gated access, those keypads with individual codes. Good lighting is surprisingly important too.
So people feel safe coming and going, even at night.
Exactly. It's about going the extra mile to build that trust. And speaking of going further, the guide mentioned additional services, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect of that. Like a complimentary shoe shining station?
Not quite. Think Moving truck rentals, maybe a package acceptance service. Some even offer on-site document shredding.
Handy.
Right, and those RV and boat facilities. Some have gone all in, offering washing and maintenance services too.
Smart. Cater to the whole lifestyle. So it's about more than just storing. It's about being like a one-stop shop.
Exactly. Attract a wider customer base, bring in more revenue, everybody wins.
Okay, so you got to be adaptable, anticipate what people need. But even though we keep hearing self-storage is recession-proof, there's got to be risks, right? Nothing's that perfect.
Well, you're right. No investment is totally risk-free. One thing to think about is interest rates.
Yeah.
A lot of self-storage facilities, they're financed with loans, right?
Sure, makes sense.
So if those interest rates go up,
It eats into those profits even if the demand stays strong.
exactly. And then you've got the classic oversaturation issue.
That
Too many developers jump in. Suddenly there's more units than customers. Prices drop. Occupancy takes a hit.
the self-storage bubble bursts.
Let's hope not, but it's a possibility. Like any business, understanding the market is key.
Got it. You know, this whole guide, it got me thinking about self-storage in a new light almost. It's like we're betting on people having too much stuff.
More stuff than space, yeah.
Right. But what if that changes? People downsizing, embracing minimalism,
It's a fascinating thought.
or the economy shifts. People can't afford to keep storing things they're not using.
You're getting at something really interesting there. Self-storage, it's more than just an industry. It's like this,
Reflection of us.
yeah, our
Yeah.
values, our habits, even our anxieties about stuff.
Yeah.
If we shift towards, say, a less is more
That
mentality,
whole game changes.
potentially, yeah, which is what makes it so interesting to watch, honestly. It's like this microcosm of bigger trends.
Huh. I like that. A microcosm. Well, there you have it. We've dug into self-storage investing from profit potential to those less glamorous risks.
Covered a lot of ground.
We learned that, success here, it takes more than just money. It takes understanding the local market, what customers need, even the bigger picture, like societal trends.
Absolutely. It's dynamic, always evolving.
So whether you're already an investor or just starting to explore, research is key. Due diligence, as they say. But here's a final thought, something to chew on. Do you think our desire for more stuff, is that going to keep driving the need for storage? Or are we like on the edge of a big shift, a less is more movement?
Future of stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. The answer, it might just reshape this whole industry. Until next time, keep those brains engaged and hey, maybe even those storage units a little less cluttered.